sense of commitment to the numbers and keeps very good records along with participating in other fun activities like parades. Allie Cohn, on the end down here, is our brand new participant on the board. She has a variety of talents and brings experience from other places around the country to the board. Allie is our new party secretary. Welcome to all of you all, and let's hear from you. And we're going to start with Linda. Then we'll go to Shannon, Allie, and Emily. I want you to wrap us up on the end. Okay. Tell us something about yourself and what brought you to the Democratic Party.
Linda Haney. I've been involved in the party for probably about 15 years. Jim Gregg actually got my husband and I involved in the party. When we moved here, we went to a meetup. At that time, it was a Howard Dean meetup,
Yes.
And Jim Gregg was there, and he said, you guys should get involved in the party. And so that's what we did. So we showed up at the next meeting, and we're kind of the people that once we're in, we're kind of all in, and we've just done about everything in the party, including trying to keep it spruced up and keep it going. So we've been here now since 1993. We built our home here. We're a member of this community, and we enjoy politics. We're kind of political crazies, but anyway, we are kind of that. But we're very, very into, and we're really wanting to see the local party grow and get people elected. That's really what we're all about. That's what Dan and I want to do.
And did you at one time have a business?
I had a small business. My husband and I were motorcyclists, which is one of the reasons we were here. We had a small company, Make It Quick, that we went to all the motorcycle events and sold impact-resistant eyewear. And after that, then I decided to get back into my laborers union. I'm a retired laborer from 818. And my husband is retired from the Finishers Local. So we're big on labor, we're big on motorcycles, we're big on a lot of things. And we're very, very much Democrats.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, Shannon. So what brought you to the party, and tell us something about your history.
Oh my. Well, I am from Knoxville, so I grew up in South Knoxville. My entire family is there. My mom is the youngest of 10, so there's a lot of us out there. I got involved in the party really firsthand. We reached out to, I believe it was Steve Brevick, and said, how do you get involved in the party? And before we knew it, we were deeply involved, and and my ex actually ended up running for office as a result of it. And I really enjoyed everyone I met. It felt like family to me, and as I just kept coming back, and when the opportunity to become the treasurer presented itself, I jumped on it, and you guys will have to kick me out of here. I like it.
So you got campaign experience as well as all the other.
Yeah, I was his treasurer for 2 years, and then, the campaign, and then now this will be my second term as the party treasurer. And
well, we really appreciate what you've accomplished, keeping everything straight. Knox County is a large party. We are diverse. We do a lot of different things, and so you have to have somebody who can keep up with the different avenues and streams of donations or earned money that we have. And then we have a headquarters, which also requires bills. So we're real proud to have Shannon to run a second term.
Well, I took over from a really good treasurer, so it works out.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay, Allie, now you have more to tell us because we don't know as much about you.
Well, I moved here in August from Florida, and as far as getting involved with the local party, I had been a delegate for Bernie Sanders at the National Convention, and basically got back from the convention and drove here to my new home with my family. And right before I moved, I had gone online to look at the local party and see how I could get involved, because I was really interested in being of service in my local community. And Chris Barber, who was a field organizer, called me and got me involved in Gloria Johnson's campaign. So that's kind of how I got involved in the local party. I kind of have considered myself a sort of slacktivist for many years, and it really wasn't until this last national election that I got very involved. And so, I baked cookies for, the campaign offices, and I would make phone calls and things, but I really wasn't as aware of the political climate. And so I got much more involved during this election and really felt committed to being of service to a community where I'm living, and this is my new community. So I'm here to be of service.
Well, thank you for checking on us and coming and being with us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Okay, Emily, you want to tell us about you?
Yeah, so I'm actually a Nashville native. I'm moved here for college. I moved here to go to the University of Tennessee about 5 years ago, and I think I came to KCDP for the first time for a First Friday that was hosted by the then party chair and candidate Gloria Johnson before she was elected to House District 13 in 2012. And it's like Shannon said, it was just an instant family connection. We were so lucky to have that experience of just being brought in immediately. And I don't know, I don't want to get too sentimental or anything like that, but it really did just instantly feel like family. And then they put us to work. So what I'm saying is you guys trapped us, but like in a positive way. And now we're trapping new people.
Yes.
So.
I welcome the trapping.
Yeah, but
we like new people to come in. But
Yeah.
I remember when you started, because I was treasurer and you came to help us with our phone banks and recruit and do that. So you've had some experience.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can be young, but you've got some real working
yes.
experience with us,
Right.
and we appreciate that.
Well, and for several years before that, I was involved in the Young Democrats in Murfreesboro, and in my high school chapter and their county party as well. So I don't know. I don't remember ever not considering myself a Democrat. The story I always tell is that my parents dug up one of my old diaries when they were, rooting through their attic or whatever. And they told me when I was 10 years old that I wrote in my diary, it was 2004, so yes, I'm a baby, I get it. But it was 2004, and I was writing about the Democratic primary, and I said I was just very dissatisfied with my options. Because I at first had supported John Kerry because I thought he was, a good choice. He was winnable. But then he just really disappointed me because he wasn't going to support same-sex marriage openly. And then same went true of John Edwards. And so my only responsible choice was to cast my support for Al Sharpton. So we see where that went. But yeah.
Well, we are a very open and welcoming party,
I agree.
and believe in people's rights.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I hope I can continue that legacy for everyone. We're lucky to have our party headquarters and be able to open it up to campaigns that need our support, and to activists through the Progressive Committee that has just started doing work for us. So we're very lucky. I hope that can be the same home that Shannon and I found a few years ago.
Good. Okay, Linda, let's come back and say, what do you want to get accomplished as vice chair of the party?
Okay, as vice chair, my role is, and it's explained as being support for the chair, and my duties will be whatever the chair may need me to do, or whatever the Board of Governors or the County Assembly would call upon me to do. So that's what I plan on doing, and I will follow Emily's lead, and I think we all have the same goal: grow the party, bring new people in, find wonderful candidates,
Yes.
and get behind them and get them elected. That's really our duty. And so I'll follow Emily's lead, and I'll give her advice if she wants it. And I'll try to be a good support and work hard to do all those goals that we have. And we want to grow in the fact that everybody feels welcome to be in our party. And I think that that's what we're going to portray, is that you're welcome to be in our party, and we'll try to plug you in somewhere. Come in and we'll find a place for you.
That's great. Okay, Shannon, tell us what you're trying to get accomplished.
Well, 2018 is really important for us, and we need to fundraise so that we can have county organizers, so that we can be very successful in 2018 in turning the county blue. but mostly it will be working with Emily and the rest of the group, and fundraising, and just growing. I mean,
Talk to us
that's
about what it costs to run our headquarters and our operation and the supporting
the supporting
members.
Right now, it costs us about $13,000 to have. I mean, and that's not just
Per year.
Yeah, that's about $13,000 per year. But that's not just rent. That's office supplies and internet and phone and all of the things you need to make an office successful. But then that office is then open to any Democrat that wants to come into it and work. And so we have candidates that work out of there. We organize our committees out of there. We do phone banks. So it's a very important location for us. Centrally located downtown, so all the districts can get to it really easily. And I forgot the second half.
The supporting members.
Oh, and then-
How are you going to pay for it?
Oh, the fun part. We have a supporting member program, and so we ask people to just donate money. And that money goes toward those funds that we need, and then that frees up when we have fundraising things, we can use those for more candidates and campaign needs. And right now, we raise about 55% of what we need. I think
Yeah.
that was my number
Yeah.
from the report the other day, was 55%.
Of
we
the
have
office
grown.
needs, yeah.
Each year gets a little closer, so we're growing.
And how can people give?
Say that. Okay. You can go to our website.
Oh, we're not supposed to
No,
fundraise
that's
on
right.
here. That's
Yeah, we
right.
cannot
Excuse
fundraise.
me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
in,
But you can go to our website.
Yes,
Go to the
there is
website, it
information
tells
on
you
our
everything.
Yes, it will tell you what you need to know. Okay, Allie, you are working with a brand new committee set up by Cameron for all these people who want something to do, and we had a need to be done, and so it's a way that new people can get involved without knowing all the ins and outs of being a Democratic Party grassroots supporter. So tell us all about what's going on there.
So I'm very excited. We have the Progressive Action Committee, that is the official name, and we are a committee of the Knox County Democratic Party. And basically, we are an action committee. So we are hoping to be a bridge between the KCDP and our progressive allies that are out in the community. And of course, we want, support for the party, but I think that one of the key elements of the Progressive Committee is that we're also going out into the community to support the community too. Because as Democrats, we do care about people and we care about issues, and that's one of the things that we're doing is a rapid response for local. There's obviously the rapid response at a national level, and then the TNDP has a rapid response for the state level. And so the Progressive Action Committee is serving as that rapid response for our local Knoxville needs. And so anybody is welcome to come to our meetings. It will be on the KCDP calendar. That's also on the website. When we have our meeting this month. Our meeting for this month hasn't been scheduled yet, but it will be towards the end of the month. And anyone is welcome to come and to get involved.
And this committee picks up with issues because the party itself was more organizing and candidate driven.
Correct.
But with all the new people, they're interested in what's going on and the issues and how we can band together. And there's a number of groups, and you're involved with several of those other groups that's tying us all together and working on issues that we care about. And so that's very important. A little different twist than what we've been doing, but it's a door into the party and party activities, and they help us. Other organizations help us, and we help them with all the things. So you want to say a word about the march in Washington? This Shannon went, and so did Linda on the buses, but you came to the March on Washington via Florida.
I did. Well, no, I was here when the March on Washington happened.
Oh, that's right. Florida, you went as a delegate to the
yes, but
convention.
here I went.
But then you go to Philadelphia?
I did. So actually what happened was I had already had a visit planned with one of my best friends that lives in Philadelphia before the election. And then the election happened. And the march was being organized. And so instead of coming from Knoxville, I'd already bought my plane ticket to go to Philadelphia. So I took the train from the Joe Biden station and went into Washington, where I was a volunteer marshal for the Women's March, and got to wear my fancy green mesh vest and help coordinate people and tell them where to go, which was a very big task because there was an attendance that was greater than was ever expected. So rerouting was happening, and it was just a really great opportunity to be of service.
Well, I attended the one here in Knoxville, and it was like everybody was down in the dumps. And then when you went to the Market Square Mall and saw all those people, men, women, children, babies, animals, and people would say to me, because I was registering people, signing them in, they would say, "This is the first time I've ever marched. I'm 56 years old." A lady told me, "I've never done this before." It was the thing that brought us all back alive, is that we weren't alone. There were people out there. So that was exciting, and we're keeping that going. Okay, Emily, you have the floor to tell us about the different things that you want to see that the party does and gets accomplished.
Okay, I'm going to try and explain this strategically, but it's such a broad topic, and there are so many things that
But
all of us are
there's
undertaking.
probably 4 or 5
yeah,
things that
absolutely.
you personally want to see completed or started by the time you're
Absolutely.
term.
So I think obviously candidate recruitment begins right away, because 2018 is our best chance of turning this state and this county purple in 20 years. We have not been this viable in a very long time. And we have a mobilized base right now. People are fired up, and we are so lucky to have new volunteers who have just exponential amounts of energy. And, you know, it's very much the case of having so many new people like Allie, and who are coming in through the Progressive Action Committee, which we're so lucky to have. We just need to find a way to channel their energy into supporting our candidates in 2018, but first we have to start recruiting. And we do have several people who have already expressed interest in running for either, you know, State House or for County Commission in 2018. But that's a conversation with them. You know, you have to start talking to them about the pragmatism, what is expected, what is necessary, especially as a Democrat in Knox County. You know, you've got to be ready for a fight, and boy, are people right now. So, so I think that's a big part of it. Another thing that I would like to see us accomplish is, as Shannon has already brought up, we'd like to hire several field organizers in 2018 to support our candidates. So that starts with having those field organizers already trained by 2018. So what we're looking at doing right now is putting together a field organizer training, hopefully in collaboration with TNDP, so that we have several, you know, just strong, energetic county field organizers to support our candidates, because that's integral to winning. And we see it with people like Chris Barber and Tyler Anselmo, who really, you know, narrowed the gap for all of our candidates. So I hope we can continue that project that Cameron started on, which is really starting to provide mobilized energy for our candidates. And then, you know, we've already talked about, in brief, starting to have more fundraisers. I was really about to lose that word. Starting to have more fundraisers, because not only do do we need the money, but we also need a soft entry point for new volunteers. There are so many newly activated and engaged people, but they have to have an approachable and accessible way to come talk to us and come get to know the family. So those are my top 3 things, I suppose.
Tell us how important the headquarters is to making all that work.
I mean, it's crucial. If we did not have the headquarters, our candidates would have to find their own spaces out of which to organize, which would double the cost of their campaigns. We're able to provide them with the space they need to hold phone banks, to run their canvases out of, and to do their own fundraising call time. So that's incredibly important. Moreover, without it, we would have to find a space to hold our Board of Governors meetings
Right.
each month. But it also provides a local touchstone for people who are looking for the Democratic Party. You can find us pretty easily. And we're so lucky to have it in the AFL-CIO historic building, because it really, I think, sends a clear message that we're on the side of labor. So I feel very lucky that we have the building we have, and that Linda and Dan put so much
There were
time
a
and
lot of
energy.
people that
Yes, yeah. All right. Well, the time for being
Right.
humble is not now. But yeah, we are very, very lucky to have it, and it is definitely integral to what we're doing.
That's good. And I know that it's been one of the wishes for all of us that we could have more open, the office open more than it is
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
And that's a good place for some of our volunteers
Yeah.
that want to work a few hours every week. And we need that consistency, not just 2 hours here and 2 hours next month.
Agreed.
But
And I hope in 2018 we can open it up more, because I remember in 2014 when I was the field organizer for the county, that it was, I think,
We were
Monday
open,
through Friday.
I think we
Yeah.
were open every day except
Yeah.
Sunday, I think.
Yeah,
And
and that
Sunday
was
was used
incredible.
for like phone banking and stuff like that. Yeah.
And even if it is just a field organizer to come open the office, you know,
Right.
it still provides a place for people to do their phone banking and make their phone calls. So that's important, no matter what.
It is.
well, and they have internet access too.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
That is an important part of it.
And printer
as well.
access,
Printer
because
access.
printing costs.
Printing costs, the internet,
Yeah.
yeah, right,
Mhm.
right.
Yes.
Well, and it's been great too, because we've used it. I know Linda Lawson used it for letter writing, for support of the ACA. We used it at the Progressive Action Committee to do a postcard writing, and we meet there, and it is, I just want to reiterate what an invaluable space that is. I've lived in a lot of different states, and I think that having that anchor of this is our Democratic headquarters is really important.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, and we're so lucky now that we have Representative Rick Staples, who is going to have his office in our headquarters,
Right.
because he's a real friend.
Yeah.
And that,
Well, and
for-
we're
first
in
and
his
foremost.
district.
We're in his district,
yeah.
which makes it nice. And also
Yeah.
in Evelyn Gills too,
Yes.
because she's
Yes.
our commissioner.
Yes.
So it's great.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I wanted to say, you all keep talking about 2018, and we know that's important, but this is 2017. But our viewers need to know that the races in the city are nonpartisan, so it's not a Democrat-Republican race, and we, as a party, do not get involved as a party with our candidates in this race. But we do encourage our members
Yes.
to get involved personally, help a candidate, work on a candidate campaign, give to a candidate. But everything that they do to organize helps us to further our goals for 2018. So we're looking forward to that, and we've got a number we've got a whole page and a half of candidates that are running, and the way that works is 2 people from each city council district will be, the top 2 vote getters will be nominated in their district, and then they will run citywide.
Right.
All of them will run citywide, so people who live in the city will have an opportunity to vote on candidates who will be in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Yes.
6, yeah.
5 and the at-large do not run this year, but the others do. So even though you want to get involved with the candidate in your district, you also have that opportunity to get involved with the candidate across town that you know and like and want to be there. It takes a good city council to get things passed.
And it's an incredible way to just get to know the community because
Yes.
I remember when I was volunteering for Rick Staples' city council campaign in 2013, I would go with him to almost every community meeting. And that was the way that I really started to feel like Knoxville was home. And in part it was KCDP, but in part it was just getting to know the community.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, we're rolling down here to almost to the end, and there was a couple of things that announcements I did want to talk about, and then I want you all to say anything else before we lose our time.
We've got a minute.
And that we have 2 women's Democratic clubs in Knox County. One meets at in the day. The Democrat Women of Knoxville's club meets at noon on the first Monday at the AFL-CIO Labor Council building, not the one we're in now, the new one that they're in that's across from Channel 10 on Bill Williams Way. And they meet at noon, and it will be coming this Monday will be their meeting for April. And then on the second Tuesday at 6 o'clock, the Knox County Democratic Women's Club meets at Aubrey Steakhouse on Merchants Road. You can eat or not eat, but they've got good food that's available for you if you want to. And both of these clubs do things that you would be interested in. And it's a good place to socialize and meet other Democratic women who are involved in the party and in campaigns in their neighborhood. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.